It was actually a really good day. There were 5 different talks and they were all coming from different areas around demystifying AI, showing you what can be done around Copilot particularly and Microsoft AI, but also more broadly how you can actually have success with AI in your charity or not-for-profit. So it was a good selection of talks and having industry experts from technology providers, from implementation partners and from people within charities who have actually done it, I think was really good.
So today's event's been really great. AI is such an impactful area that I think is going to be not just a huge impact for society as a whole, but particularly for charities and other non-profits. It's been just fantastic to get a group of people together to talk about what it means for the sector to explore the opportunities.
Yeah, so I would say that we're not very far in our journey around AI in the organization. I think that we're kind of in the area of there's so many unknowns, things around policies, how do we keep people's data safe? We've got a lot of personal and sensitive identifying information that we hold. So what would we put in terms of governance around that? Misuse of AI as well as kind of the potential of any sort of data breaches around it. So there's a lot of sort of internal questions that we're looking at just because of the kind of organization that we are. So I found that today was quite interesting to see that it's not just us that's thinking about those things, that there are some steps as well that as an organization we can take. Sort of an initial step would be kind of just experimenting in the first place. And it was really interesting just to see how far things have come as well and how many things that we could actually do with this that we probably haven't considered.
Been a great day and thanks for inviting Microsoft along. I think all the talks were really interesting, from some of the great demos where people saw firsthand kind of how M365 Copilot can benefit them at work. Also hope there was a few fun use cases, but also some genuine use cases in there. And then it was great hearing kind of thinking about the whole policy side and security and really building a solid foundation.
So I learned a lot more about how Dynamics and Copilot integrates with Dynamics. That's quite useful because we are on a Dynamics journey. Learned a lot of little useful nuggets, so sort of like it being included in Business Premium, and some of the Copilot features are already available for free, including some of the Dynamics integrations. So that was good, and also some sort of more sort of business understanding of how AI kind of a rollout of AI and a sort of a way forward for the business, really, in terms of things that we should be thinking about and that kind of stuff.
Well, so the typical challenge is that charities and not-for-profits are slower to adopt, because typically you never want to be at the leading edge as a charity. You want other organisations, people with a bit more money out there to go out, make the mistakes. You can then leap in once those mistakes have been made. I think with AI, there's a real challenge that things are moving so quickly that charities will find that they get left behind. And so I'm really, a lot of what I'm doing at the moment is going around encouraging charities to really start thinking about how they can make a difference in their organisations and what they can do to take things forward.
Yeah, I'll probably start with some of their users are probably already on it themselves. So talk to their own users and learn from them. I guess the 2 most obvious things we're seeing is customers have started with their own ChatGPT type implementation, so building their own chatbots and really focusing on their own data and use cases. And then second, thinking about M365 Copilot in particular, thinking about how that can be used to increase productivity at a persona and departmental level, and really, again, build, I guess, a pilot group of users that can really build a foundation from really justifying the investment that's going to take, but hopefully that'll soon be realised. I think the first thing I'd recommend for any customer that's really thinking about this stuff is talk to one of our Microsoft partners. They will have all done their accreditations, and they quite often will have some funding to help customers in those early stages of that journey, and sometimes through the migration of it. That partnership can really help make sure that you achieve the outcome.
So for me, the 3 things that make a good AI leader are number 1, to be curious and involved. So actually to ask lots of questions to understand what the opportunities are for your organisation, to explore where the pitfalls are, the things you need to avoid, and as a result of that to help the organisation to shape plans to move forward. That's the first. The second thing I think is to be strategic. So you can't approach AI totally in isolation from the rest of what the organization does. So think about what the business strategy is, how that relates to both the digital strategy and the underlying IT strategy, and then work out how AI interrelates with all of those elements. And the third area, I think, is not to try to be the expert. So I much prefer what I call an empowering model of leadership. And the empowering leader looks to build the team of people around them who have all the knowledge that's needed. They can, over time, expand their knowledge and together make the right decisions to make the organization successful with AI.
Yeah, don't get scared is the biggest thing. Don't get completely overwhelmed with paralysis because there's so many different things coming at you about AI. Go back to the core basics that every IT leader has learnt over the years, which are all around how can you successfully implement new technology? How can you work with the people in your business who are doing jobs that are very valuable but could be enhanced and done more successfully with the use of technology. So think back to how you've implemented other bits of major technology change in the past and just go for it, follow the techniques you've used before, pilot things, trial things, but the biggest thing is don't get scared, don't just sit there doing nothing, go out there, start piloting and start trialing things, because as soon as you start doing that, you'll learn about things and people within your organization will start learning about things and you can start celebrating the successes.
So what it probably excites me most, so currently, or we have just been doing some work with mhance, one of the partners that you've got there, so it's really interesting to see what their input is on it, how far they've gone in their development so far with the co-pilot and around the fundraising and engagement piece as well. So I think that for myself, the excitement around that is what is the potential that could actually unlock for our fundraising, and having seen things today, I think that there's so many opportunities for us that we can actually take away from that.
I think it's really just about, we are a Microsoft ecosystem, so a lot of it is about understanding how the Microsoft technology can enable us to move forward on AI and start to get some of the values and sort of work out how, provide a kind of a safe and secure way forward to start dipping our toes into it at the moment, really. We haven't got a specific requirement or anything like that, so I think understanding where the technology is and where it's going, and then potentially having a way to move forward and start getting some testing out there and sort of determine some value and that kind of stuff in a kind of a safe manner is good.